First of all, thank you for having selected us to talk, and I excuse myself if my English won't be very sharp today. I'm kind of tired. Anyway, this is the first slide we present always because this is what our office does. So it's a herd of cattle, and every cattle has the same genetic genes, the same genes than the others that are close. So our projects are like that. They like all seem, somehow they are growing from the same genes, even if they look very different. But I won't show you that. We will talk about Snow Horse or this hotel that is 1,301 in. And I'm very happy you selected us, and I'm very happy for all the crew that worked in this, because it was we were a lot, and we were very lucky. We found a very good client that is a public client, but even we're lucky because we found a very good company who built the structure. And actually, the company was run by an architect and a photographer, and he helped us in the process of working with that, which for us was not just making a hotel. This is the town where Piancavallo, that's why we call it Slow Horse, because Piancavallo is like horse, slow. And it's a town that has my same years, somehow it's like it was of the 60s. And it's a town where people built to go to ski. And nowadays, everybody living in the area close to Pordenone learned to ski in that place. And so when we won the bidding for very thin numbers, let's say, I was very happy about that because it brought me a lot of memories. And I remembered from when they were built, these buildings, and when the people presented them to us, we went to visit them. They were all very worried, and they were very worried for two things. One was the money that was little. The second one was the time that was very little, and the third thing was about snow. They were very, very worried about snow. They were so worried about snow that at a certain point I said, look, we are not speaking about shit, we are speaking about snow, and without snow, this doesn't exist. This village won't exist. So let's bring snow and let's talk about that. And they were actually opening some of the doors of our perception, and actually they were opening the doors of my obsession, the obsession of the unpredictable. I'm kind of like when things change a lot, and the ways of making things change for me are through mistakes and through that we do a lot. And I always rely on my mistakes, on our mistakes. And then the other thing was natural forces. Natural forces can give, as they shaped the mountains, somehow they can shape architecture, in our opinion. And speaking about this, my obsession brought me to my passion for contemporary art, and particularly for Arte Povera, which is from Torino, and this is Anselmo, and this is Pennone. Again, natural forces that somehow are shown through art. Art as a display for the forces of nature. So these were some mode. After that was just architecture. We just worked on architecture. But the concept was very strong for us, was like snow was going to design our project. And every move we did in this building was about snow, about how snow, about water could help us making a building. And these were the first models we were working on, and they were like all talking about collecting water, collecting snow, somehow creating a relation with the surrounding, but with the natural surrounding, and first of all, with the climate and the way you had to feel the place. Because we are somehow convinced that architecture has to create spaces, but first of all has to help people feel the places, understand the place and live the places. They have created ways of living the places. And this is what we were interested in creating, in re-giving life to a place that was somehow under-considered and not very well understood. And that's the section of the building. The first yellow building you saw, we somehow just had to work through that and made an extension of it. We somehow, we figured out while we were working there, that was one of the surprises, we figured out that there was a layer underground, but there were actually two layers underground. And one was just, the second one was just empty. So demolished the part on the top, and we put it on underground. And this was very ecological, even if we didn't want, because we saved work to bring the demolition stuff, to bring them down to the plane. And then, and so that's the plan, how we created the building, and this is about architecture, about how you make a place, how you make a space inside, and I'm not gonna explain you that. But what I'm gonna explain is like, I would like to show is how we work on this project. And you see these pictures are pictures that some are done by me and some were done by the builder, who is a photographer. Like in an inverted relationship between the creative elements of the building. And the other interesting thing was this continuous overlaying of parts of structure with covering and elements that were like temporary, that for me were like very interesting. I have to say an important thing that you understand probably more from this building, that we had to build it in 1 year, in 2 years from the day they gave us the assignment. And for 5 months, we could not work in the mountain because there's snow. So we decided to make a platform, and on this platform, built a wood structure, prefabricated wood structure. And this is the way we worked with that. We tried to understand the building while in construction and to understand which were the detail we were interested in. And this were a picture of the builder, and to us they were very important. They were like layers that were put in protection of wood, because wood has to be protected. And the building, and when we were working on this, we understood that we could not be afraid of a roof that has a span out, like modern architecture look like being a plane. I always thought, I hope I didn't study so long just to be scared of a roof. So we just tried to use the roof and tried to use the building for its potential. And this again, details. These were the drawn details, they were the sketch details about the facade, how the facade relates itself with the context and how it plays with light. That was another very important element. You see, this facade doesn't have a big span because it's a facade that is posed south. So for us, it was very important that the wood would never become black, but it would become gray. And that was telling us that the building was okay. And we go often to visit the building to check where we made a mistake, because from those mistakes we can learn a lot. And these were the detail. And then again, you see how the building start to play with the mountain. With the mountain, and start to play with the snow. And the interior, and the way of working on the detail. Details are somehow designed before. These are the drawing. Actually, this should be shown before, and this should be shown afterward. Because then, after that, we add layers that help us go farther from the drawing. We don't want to stop the drawing. The drawing is just too easy to finish there and expect that someone does it what we like. We have somehow to use the forces of people working to make it better. And that's the part of, we always get good surprise from that. Surprise that maybe we didn't expect. And again, this is the interior part of the building, and you see there is a molino that was, of course, a reference of this building, and is looking is a chandelier who's looking into the big space. The chandelier and the corridors, and again, we had little money, so we used the cheapest tires we could find, and actually, but they were tires that were very important to my mind, because were part of my memory. When you go to the old, I don't know, how you say, latteria, milk factory in the mountains, small, they have this floor, and this floor made with hexagon is not a K, is made because the floor is never even, and they need to create somehow channels for the water to flow. And for us was important there too, because it's a wooden structure, and the wooden structure move, and so that fact of having this kind of tile was kind of interesting, and we understood that while we were working on that. So the process is always, to us, is always open. We try never to close it, and then we check it out even afterwards. You see, a big mistake is this that you see that where the black, I hate the black, and the black came out where the beam was too long. And this was very important to us to understand how a wood building works. And these are the bedrooms, and we designed even the interior and the beds and everything with the same concept, trying to be not expensive, but trying at the same time not to be cheap. And another interesting thing is about when they gave the project, they told us that the building should have had the spirit of the mountains, because they didn't have, Piancavallo had not the spirit of the mountain. So we had to make the closets, and we decided to close the closets with these chains, and we printed on the chains some images of people famous skiers that died while they were doing their sport or while in the mountains. So they are like phantoms into the building, and they are the spirits of the building. And when you go to you don't see them when you're close, then you move away, and then when you touch, they disappear like phantoms. And this was another way of doing a cheap thing that had some meaning to us. And again, the building, the interior is this. This is the way we work, and the kind of detail on the slate facade, because somehow this was another reference that was very, very important to us, the Midsummer Snowball. This fantastic work for Andy Gold was probably, to me, the best work he did. It's like he compacted snow, and compacting snow, he made it last longer. And making it last longer means that it created a completely different relation between the artwork and the space around it. Something that was called, speaking about the cold, that was speaking about the volume that was disappearing. That was not forever there. They were never the same, as the building is never the same. And that was what we were looking for. That was our project. When I saw that, when we were able to take the picture, I said, that's our project. That's what we want to talk about. And the water is all collected on the back where you see those stones, and it's collected because then they use it to produce snow, pumping it up in the mountains. And this is, again, just the building. This is another sketch that was very important to understand the building. Because in the same time, in winter, it collects snow. In summer, it becomes a big waterfall in front of the building, in front of the main space of the interior. And this, again, was part of the real project. You see the icicle, okay. The icicle coming. This was, again, the project to us. The thing that would have making people understand the snow was important, that the mountains have that design, because water designed it, snow designed it. And now I need a video. Yeah, you understand better from the video. And the builder did the video too. So So what I wanted to say after that is that architecture is like, for me, in this case, was like, has to do what this figure skater does. She's using cold and ice to become lighter, more stylish, and more elegant in the landscape. So is a tool was used as a tool to design, as necessary as it is for these beautiful women. Thank you.